Are we good? There we go. Welcome to the 52nd annual Strizek concert. Behind me, we're going to start off with the jazz band and feature a couple soloists: Alexander on trumpet, Gabby Dockle alto sax, Hasha Benson tenor sax, and Jeffrey Wilkevich on the trombone. Here's Blue Asa. This next selection is also be one we played at solo ensemble like the last one. This is a Sammy Nestico song from the 60s called Hey Burner, and it features a nice duet with the lead trumpet Alex Sander and the lead alto Gabby Docknell. Here's Hey Burner. And some nice piano work that you'll actually hear from Jenna Catania because it's mic'd.
Who's fine? Buffalo Bill's fine, all right. Jim Houston.
This next tune is Jerry Mulligan, who's probably the most famous baritone saxophonist. We're going to feature our own baritone saxophonist by the name of Dominic Ackerman. He went and found this. He wanted to play something because we had the baritone sax player last year do kind of a cool song. So Dominic went out and searched on Pepper and found something called Out Back of the Barn, written by Jerry Mulligan, arranged by Mark Taylor. So hope you enjoy this kind of laid-back blues number. before we play our last song, I just want to acknowledge the seniors in the jazz band and the sax section. If you stand up, you have Dominic Ackerman on Barry sax, Tasha Benson on the tenor sax, and the whole trumpet section, just raise your hand. We have on the end Layla Mankey, and Michael Zagar in the middle, and Alex Zander on the end. And in our rhythm section, we have Jenna Catania on the piano. Is that it? Yep. That's it. That's enough. That's great. How about a nice round of applause for the Seacombe Jazz Band? And I just wanted to give a couple of words yet, but it's kind of awkward, but maybe I can just take this out. All right. So every year the jazz band votes for what they consider as the most deserving student in recognition of outstanding achievements in the field of jazz, as demonstrated through superior musicianship, character, individual creativity. So this year, the Louis Armstrong Jazz Award is hereby presented to Dominic Ackerman. And the second award I'd like to give, before we move on to our final number, the Department of the Navy actually is affiliated with the United States Marine Corps. I don't know if you knew that. I didn't know that. But anyway, this is the Semper Fidelis Award that's designated to recognize a distinguished high school band member for musical achievements, leadership, and a high school scholar. Candidates should be exemplary young citizens, role models for other students. This program is sponsored by the United States Marines Youth Foundation, and award recipients have to be most inspirational, show greatest determination, be a high school senior, hold first chair position in band, capable of performing as a soloist with a high school band, and recognized both as an outstanding performer and truly an outstanding young citizen. So I think we have a very deserving young man who has just done all those things. And he has some great parents also, because things like this don't just happen. So it's my great pleasure to present the Semper Fidelis Award for Musical Excellence to Alex Zander. So this is a song from Vanessa Williams back in 1989. I don't know if that's when she was Miss America or not. I'm not sure what year that was. But I always kind of like this song. It's a ballad going to feature Michael Zagar on the trumpet, Gabby Dockman on alto saxophone. Anyone else? And Jenna has some nice piano work too. So here's our last song. Here's Save the Best for Last. And then we'll bring on the show choir, because they're standing in the wings, literally.
I'd like to take a few moments to appreciate Sir. He's done a lot for us in my 4 years or so last year with him, and this is also his last year too. So instead of him retiring, I'd like to look at it as him graduating with us. So we got a little present for him.
Thank you.
Thanks for your patience. Our show choir is going to be performing 3 pieces for you. First one, the 2016 Pop Hit Hand Clap. We follow that by Holy, and then we finish with a really neat piece, The Defining Moment. The last piece features our seniors of the show choir, and so I'd like to acknowledge those 4 individuals: Trisha Groya, Keely Ness, Cameron Seminis, and Paige Smith. So how about a round of applause for our seniors? Hand claps going to feature soloist Logan Schwartz, My Vein, and then Gabriella. I made a mistake in the front of Gabriella. I want to give a special shout out and thank you to our choreographers, Megan McClyman, Isabel Oliva, and Cleopatra Williams, who are all not seniors. And I'm looking forward to that going forward in the future. So those 3 individuals, a round of applause, please. They've been working really hard these past few weeks in my absence, and I can't thank them enough for sticking with it and being diligent and working to bring you this performance this evening. So please enjoy the Horseman High School Show Choir.
Here we go.
We'll break the stage for the organ band to come on down. The concert choir, if you could meet in the, my mind's going blank. In the choir room, that'd be great. And be ready for the next group in a matter of moments. Thank you.
Okay, this is the oil band behind me. And freshmen, a couple people helping us out. Dominic Ackerman's on bass sax, and Abby Goldenbach's on bass guitar. She's not in the band, but she's in jazz band, but that helps a lot. And who else we have? Yes, Trinity Rivera. Somebody said that. She's actually my teacher during this lot, so Trinity's a lot of help, and she's just started playing bass clarinet this week because we found out our regular bass clarinetist had mouth surgery, so she wasn't able to play tonight. So thank you for your flexibility, Trinity. We're going to open up with a chestnut of band music here from 1956. That was a good year. Air for Band by Frank Erickson. I walk 2 miles in the morning before work, but this is just too much going this far. I'm going to turn it off, Pete. Thanks. This next is a three movement bird called Columbia Gourd Sweet, and it's kind of weird. It just has like style markings where they have three movements, but this is Columbia Gourd Sweet. Next selection is from the Percy Granger collection of the Lincolnshire Poesy. This is one of the movements called The Lost Lady Found, and arranged by Michael Sweeney. And it's a dance song in 3. And they actually find the lady in measure 130, but you don't have to count measures. Just when Jessica plays the chimes, that's the signal that the lady was found. For the Orlando Band's final selection, I'd like to welcome the new band director that's going to be getting in summer band. She's going to conduct a piece, this next piece, Boogie Boogie Boogaloo. I'm going to feature the trumpet section with Riley, Taylor, Ethan, and I always play it by the wrong name. I always play Megan, but it's not Megan. It's Emily. Okay. So we're going to welcome Mrs. Julie Lightery, who's currently teaches in the Phonics School District, is going to be joining us as a new band director. And Julia is a graduate of UW Whitewater, and an active is actually a freelance trumpet player, and she resides in Phonics with her husband Zach. So let's welcome Mrs. Julia Lightery. How about one more round of applause for Mrs. Julia Lavery? We're gonna take a little time here to do a free will offering, now paid for cords and broken mics and things like that, and bring the house lights up. And if you haven't checked out, hopefully we'll try to catch you in, and we're gonna have Robin Miramonte present some awards from the music parents and Royal Nation. And so we have some students that were gonna come and pass baskets, and they just left behind me with their instruments. That happens every time. So we'll get it over to Robin Miramonte right now.
Hi, my name is Robin Miramonte, and I'm the Music Parents President. I'm here to hand out some summer camp scholarships to our band and choir students. I'm hoping that they're around and that they'll hear me. So I would like to start with the choir scholarships. I think we have 4 of them this year. I'm looking for Megan McClyman, Isabella Olivia, and Doug Martin. They may be in the choir room getting ready, and that's okay. Each of those students are getting a $200 scholarship toward a summer camp. And then Corinne Martin is receiving our Strizek Award for choir, so she will be receiving $600 toward her summer camp this year. And the last 2 I have are band members. I need a Shayla Braun. Shayla's getting $350 toward her summer camp. And Trinity Rivera. Trinity's getting $650 towards her summer camp. All of these scholarships are made possible through the help of Royal Nation. We are a unique school district in that we have one booster club that encompasses everything. You can support that booster club by buying calendars, coming to our booth at Walleye Weekend, or helping us work Walleye Weekend would be wonderful. Also, if you're interested in music parents, we are a very fun organization. We meet 4 to 6 times a year, and our meetings are maybe about an hour long, and we have a lot of fun in those meetings. So if you want to support these students, please feel free to join us. You can check with any of the band or choir directors, and they will let you know when and where to get in contact with us. Thank you.
Well, if you wanted to get up and move around, if you haven't taken a look at the artwork in the Commons by Mr. Sancho and Mr. Carey and Mrs. Zaka's students, I hopefully you do that. And if you need to use the restroom, then we're going to come back up with the concert choir in just a few minutes, but feel free to go out in the Commons for a few minutes. We'll start at 1:45 with how about a 10-minute intermission here, just to kind of stretch your legs. And then we'll have 2 more performing groups. Yeah, the concert choir and the symphonic band.
Thank you for your patience. We're going to resume our concert this evening with the concert choir members behind me singing the medley, The Phantom of the Opera. And then we will give our senior recognition and our awards for the individuals in the choir of the National Choral Award and the Kiwanis Hall of Fame. So please enjoy our concert choir's medley, The Phantom of the Opera.
Ah
At this time, we would like to recognize all of the seniors in the concert choir for the year of 2019, the graduating year of 2019. I know some are absent from sickness, but I'm still going to call their names. If you could come down and make a line, feel free to applaud your individuals, your students, your children. All right. The first will be Anna Billings. I believe she is gone this evening. Oh, we can give her a round of applause. Hannah Bakarma. Jenna Catania. Trisha Broyle. Sadie Krzyzanowski. Keandra Land. Mackenzie Moss. Elena Bain. Katarina Mills. Keely Ness. Alexis Wool. Alexis Schwartz. Cameron Sumnus. Paige Smith. Caitlin Phoebe. And Emma Valentino. Ladies and gentlemen, the senior class of 2019 concert choir members. One last time.
Present for Mr. Atkinson. So before every concert, we take choir selfies. So we decided from our freshman year to now that we were going to put pictures in. And then we also wrote some notes. So here you go, Mr. Atkinson.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. This is really special. Every selfie from your freshman year, that's really cool. We have, I have a gift for each and every one of you for the senior reception and coffee and whatnot. I have a picture of all of us as cabaret, and then I also have a song list of every song from your freshman year, that both the concert choir and show choir. So I want you guys to have that. So feel free, before you leave, obviously get the cake and punch, but I have a gift for each and every one of you. So thank you so much, seniors, 2019 seniors. Then before we begin our last piece, we do have a couple of awards to give. First one, the Kiwanis Hall of Fame Award. This individual has been in choir multiple years, show choir multiple years, a dedicated state performer, very close to honors, was a alternate for a couple of years. Very tough to get on selected on that, but an individual who is just so much amount of talent and a good dedication to the group and a great role model for the rest of the concert choir and show choir. So I'd like to award the Kiwanis Hall of Fame Award to Miss Cameron Sumnus. And our National Choral Award, this individual, again, has been in choir multiple years, show choir for a few, but she's very well-rounded, well-gifted, both vocally, instrumentally, tickling the ivories, the flute, multiple instruments, very dedicated performer, one with tremendous talent. I can't wait to see where she goes in the future. Also a member of the WSMA Honors Choir this past year. Got in and was very proud to be watching her on stage at the Overture Center in Madison, and just an awesome person to receive the National Choral Award, Miss Jenna Catania. I'd like to welcome to the stage our accompanist for our last piece, Mrs. Sandy Scadella, at this time. I like to always pick a piece for the group that culminates the year, culminates the past. And not only am I happy to culminate it with the seniors of 2019, but also to my colleague on the external side, Mr. Jerry Scadella. So I thought, how fitting. I believe my mother and also Mrs. Scadella a couple years ago said, hey, how fitting would it be to have To Serve with Love as our final piece, as a choir singing from the movie To Serve with Love, and having Mrs. Scadella play it as well. I can't thank him enough. He promised me, I promised him I wouldn't put anything in the program. Well, technically, I did fulfill the promise, so I'm just going to speak my words. And I can't think of a great mentor, a great friend, and a great colleague that I've had these past 6 years to work with. I wish him the best. It's been a great ride. That's all I have to say. So To Serve with Love, you rock, sir. This is great. For the symphonic band. I also do want to give a shout out to Mrs. Kirk for helping out our choir members as well for the rehearsals, and also my long-term sub these past few weeks, Miss Kendall and Ewing. I've been gone on paternity leave. They've still been at it, and I want to thank Mrs. Ewing for that. So thank you so much, and we will finish with the symphonic band in a matter of moments.
Well, this is the final group. Thanks for sticking around for the last forming group. This is the symphonic band with some help from the several members of the jazz band to kind of augment their mark with little asterisks in your program. I call them ringers. Oh, whoever typed in is stronger than I am, so I'm not going to deal with that. This is called Dedicatory Overture, another great piece. I was looking at this actually, I thought it was very fitting because we actually played this as a recessional as the kids walked out in 1985 for graduation. So that was like my first year here, so that was kind of cool that we're going to do the same song again. It's Clifton Williams, and there's some deep parts into it, and there's some 7/4 in the middle, so thank you, Mr. Fedison, for telling me to conduct it in 7 instead of 4+3, because it didn't make a difference. The band, I think, does it a lot smoother. So anyway, here's Dedicatory Overture.
Everybody ready? Give me that one more time.
At this time, I'd like to acknowledge the seniors, including those that are helping us out from the jazz band. So I probably won't get this right. Let's just start from the back and stand up, please. So, in the back row, we have Tasha Benson on the tenor sax. You can applaud, that's all right. Yeah. Dominic Edmond on bass sax. Emma Valentino on the baritone. You can stay standing. Alexander on trumpet. Leila Menke, trumpet. Madison Cozy, alto saxophone. Lily Sayroff, alto sax. And there's nobody in the back row, is there? So hopefully they're all coming back. And then the front row, we have Jordan Wood, clarinet. Carly Mann, flute. Rachel Geddes, flute and piccolo. Jennifer Canyon on the flute. And Trisha Doyle on the flute. Those are the three singers from the country. Like the jazz band, the symphonic band chooses one of the recipients to receive the John Philip Sousa Award, and I think they picked a very good recipient, and this is in the Outstanding Achievement and Interest in Instrumental Music for singular merit and loyalty and cooperation, and for displaying those high qualities of conduct that school instrumental music requires. So the John Philip Sousa Band Award in 2019 goes to Jenna Catania. And also the instrumental department chooses a Hall of Fame honor program that normally they'll give them out next week, but at the awards banquet, but Mr. Rasmussen and I decided to do it tonight since we won't be at the awards banquet. And this year, in recognition of the election to the Lakeside Kiwanis Hall of Fame by the Horace Mann staff for outstanding achievement in instrumental music, I'd like to give this award to Jenna Catania. And we have a scholarship, a music scholarship that was started last year to remember a young man who went to high school here and died way too soon. And his family, his mom and dad, Deb and Rick Breitrick, have donated money for students going on into whatever, and hopefully music. And so we lost Adam Breitrick back in January 23rd of 2017, and I just always remember his smile. He has this great picture here with his dog, and Adam just had this contagious smile, and he just enjoyed it. He was going to actually be a music teacher. He was talking about going back to school and being a music teacher, and then tragedy happened. So I'm going to read you the Serenity Prayer, because that's right on this plaque. And it says, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So it's a great pleasure for me to give the Adam Breitrick Music Scholarship Award to Jenna Catania. Well, our final piece is a four-movement work from Antonin Dvorak. It's a wonderful arrangement by James Colonel. We have the pleasure of having Brad Kern, who's giving his last concert tomorrow night up at the Webster Stanley Middle School in Oshkosh. Anyone wants to hear a pretty cool middle school band, you might want to check that out if you have nothing to do tomorrow night. But Brad worked with the symphonic band and also the organ band, which was a fun group to work with as well. And Sandy and I had the great pleasure last year to travel to Prague. And we went to a lot of concerts, and of course Anton Dvorak is actually from there. So everybody plays this, so we heard a couple different versions of this. But this is James Colonel's idea, and it's in 4 movements. And it's called, you probably recognize some of the melodies. It's very famous. There's one of the slow movements is called Going Home, and the 7th and 8th grade went down to Milwaukee Symphony. They had a whole thing on that this year. And this is, so I'd like to just perform our last piece, Symphony Number 9. And just want to thank you all for coming and all the encouragement. And just really appreciate my time here because you have great students. And like I said before, there's great parenting as displayed behind me on stage, because things like that don't just happen. So I'm really fortunate to have to be able to teach here for 35 years. And I just want to thank my wife Sandy for putting up with me, because sometimes days weren't always the best, and she listened to that for 35 years. That's a long time. So thank you, Sandy, because she was a rock from the very beginning, and is still supportive right up to the last day. And thank you for that to serve us love. I even looked at the program and it never dawned on me. That's how I don't, as my wife would say, I don't really connect the dots too well. So I didn't get that at all. I didn't. So thank you, Mr. Epson. That was really wonderful. And thank you, choir. That was very nice. I don't know why I'm looking at this, there's nothing on here. So, and this one, and I know Mike Reese is out in the audience too, and it was so fun having this, his last 8th grade class from last year. He passed me a really good group that, and I hope they're still here. The Oriole Band, they're still here. And you guys sounded awesome, so thank you. How about another round of applause to the Oriole Band? That's pretty cool. So this is always tough getting on here with the band. That's just how it is, because it's nice doing I think for the audience, it's nice alternating the bands and choirs like that. I know Mr. Espen's mom and dad thought it was a great thing. And we had the group combined on Christmas. That was cool. The only problem with that is then they're sitting here for 2 hours and their instruments get cold. So I hope the intonation isn't too bad. But I enjoy this piece. I hope they enjoy it half as much as I do. So here it is, our final piece, Symphony Number 9, Dvorak from the New World. But I would be remiss if I didn't thank Pete Chisholm for all the help there, Pete. So thanks so much. You can flash the lights on us. And Mike Davison, thank you for helping out. And Julia, thank you so much. That's what we do on the Oscars. Okay, it's time for me to go. Bring up the house lights. And again, seniors and their parents and family and everything, please don't forget about the senior reception for you, the cake and the punch, right outside. Behind you.
And in honor of the seniors' last Strizek concert, we all come up to the stage, all the seniors. We would like to thank Mr. Scadella for everything that he has done for us for the last 4 years. And not only is it our last Strizek concert, but his. So we got you a little something.
Well, thank you so much. Now, right? Okay, sorry, this is taking, we're 5 minutes over now, so we're off the air already. They just turned off. To read it? There's a lot in here. I'll read it on my spare time. But thank you so much. So congratulations on your retirement. And there's a gift card from Vanilla. No, it's Visa. Visa, I heard about Visa. Yeah. Oh, and there's a great picture from us at the Christmas concert that I haven't seen yet. This is the first time I've seen this, and I'm even in it. That's amazing. So thank you much, seniors. I'll miss you. Thank you so much, and we'll see you around. Thank you. And check out the artwork.